Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time viewing my channel, my name is Monica. On this channel I do DIYs and crafting and occasionally some revamps. I hope that everyone is having a wonderful Sunday. I will not prolong the time anymore, so let's get started with DIY number 1. Okay, for this first DIY we'll be making a mail bag using this piece of burlap fabric. We'll be using chalk paint, also a piece of nautical rope, and you'll also see me using a liquid adhesive that is used to bond different types of material. Okay, what I'm doing here is folding this piece inward for now because I want that to be on the outside, so I'm folding it in, and then you'll see me get ready to actually glue the edges down with hot glue and also this liquid adhesive. Once I do that, we'll then flip the bag inside out, and then we'll apply the nautical rope for our hanger. Once I get finished doing all that, the bag is basically formed and finished, but then we'll do some decorating. I want to put the actual word mail on the front of the bag, so I'm going to use some stencils and the black chalk paint and stencil the wording in mail. After I do that, I'm then going to go around the edge of the lap that I turn inward with a piece of decorative ribbon, and at the top where the nautical ropes are glued into the inner part, I'm going to glue 2 flowers on each end, and that'll complete this DIY. Okay, here you see me pulling at the strings on that. Initially I wanted this to be a little rugged look on the front, but I changed my mind, and you'll see the picture later that I actually put a decorative ribbon. Right here I'm gluing this down because I wanted to actually to have a nicer look on the back instead of that rugged look on the back. Here I'm applying the nautical rope. Now you see that I actually took the end of these ropes loose, and that is so that I can hot glue this onto the burlap fabric. Instead of just having that big chunk, I wanted it spread out so that I can actually have something for the burlap and the nautical rope to adhere together. Once I have this glued down, I'll then flip this back covering, the covering on top of the nautical rope so that it won't be seen. Okay, DIY number 2, we'll be making a letter decal using tissue paper, and I think I've shown you this method before where I printed my image onto tissue paper. Here I have cut out my image, and we're going to apply this to a flour sack towel to have as a decorative piece on the stove. Now what you want to do when you're adhering this tissue paper to a type of material, you're going to use this saran wrap. When you're cutting your saran wrap around your actual image, make sure that you leave a little bit extra out from your image. Do not cut it the same size as your image, because once you apply the heat from the iron, it shrinks in the saran wrap, and you want to make certain that your actual ends are adhered to your material well. So make certain when you're cutting your saran wrap to leave a little bit hang out from your image. So here you see that I have cut my image out, and I have cut the saran wrap out as well, and I've left a little bit on to the image. Now once you have your image and the saran wrap all cut out how you want it, you're going to apply a piece of parchment paper on top. Now I will advise, do not leave your iron in one spot too long. Iron very quickly over the spot. Check your ends to see if it's adhered to it, and if it has, move from that spot, because if you don't, you stay in one spot too long, you will burn your fabric or whatever you're ironing on. And as you can see here, it is done, and it doesn't take that long, and this DIY is done. Okay, DIY number 3, we'll be making a little planter using this bucket shaped as a pail bucket. This is purchased from Family Dollar. However, Dollar Tree does sell these type of buckets as well. I'll be using this sign that I did on tissue paper, and we'll be applying it using Mod Podge. Now here you see me applying the Mod Podge first, then you will apply your tissue paper to it. Now I'm doing this for video purposes, but make certain before you apply your top coat of Mod Podge that you have allowed it to dry from your first coat. Like I said, I'm just doing this for video purposes now, going over it with the Mod Podge, but so that you do not wrinkle up or tear your tissue paper, you want to make certain that it's dry first and then put your top coat of Mod Podge on. And now I'm just simply placing my greenery in here. I got these 2 pieces of greenery from Dollar Tree, and I just placed this other piece of greenery I think that I got from Dollar General in with it. That completes this DIY. Okay, our last DIY, we'll be making a miniature ladder. I will be using 2, and I do apologize I don't have the video showing that I cut these down, but it was 2 wood stakes that Dollar General have. They sell them in 3 feet. I cut my long pieces down to 17 inches, and the short pieces are cut to 8 inches and 1/8. I'm now applying my wood stain, jacobean black. Now you can stain these any color that you want. Now I will advise to make certain before you actually adhere your middle pieces that all of your wood is good and dry from your stain if you choose to do so. Now I'm applying the wood glue and hot glue. Remember the hot glue I'm just using for a quick hold. The wood glue is for sturdier hold. Now I'm applying it to one side first. Then you'll see me turn it over on its side, and then I apply the last long piece on top using the same method, wood glue and hot glue. I do apologize if this is out of camera range, but as you can see here, I'm putting the wood glue and hot glue on both of the small ends, and then applying the longer piece on top, and that'll complete this project. Now you do still have to allow this to set up and dry. Thank you all for viewing my channel. Please remember to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe and hit that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. You can also follow me on Instagram at UKNEIK.